Hello everyone. Now, one of the things people often ask me, is about the LGBTQIA plus community, well, communities, and the wider community from which they're in. Sort of like, I don't really understand what all this is, and hey, fair enough. Maybe quite new to you. And so, today I thought, I'll make a start. And, well, how about I go through each of the letters to give you an idea of what's going on. First we have the L, which stands for Lesbians. And here's the lesbian flag. Now, a lesbian is a woman who is exclusively or primarily, at least in one form of attraction, attracted to other women. We'll get on to split attraction a bit later on. And I have linked sources in the description on all of these. Then there's the G, gay, specifically the homosexual male, although the term has been used more broadly. And this here is the flag specifically for homosexual males, although often you'll see the rainbow flag at the beginning used as well. And of course, who are homosexual males? Well, gay, it does include, the term gay can include anyone who is primarily or exclusively attracted to someone of the same gender as themselves. It usually refers to men who are attracted to other men. Then the B, bisexuals. Here we have the bisexual flag. A bisexual is someone who is attracted to their own gender and other genders. Some may have a preference for one gender or more genders on the gender spectrum or not. Now, this is often confused with pansexual. Now, a pansexual person can be attracted to someone based on other things, and for them, gender is not a factor in the regard of who they are attracted to. So bisexuals will be attracted to gender, but a pansexual perhaps will not be so much, but will be more focused on other things. Now the T, transgender, and here we have the transgender flag. A transgender person is someone whose gender identity, as in their understanding of their gender, is not the same as the gender assigned to them at birth. And the gender assignment at birth is usually based on the genitals that the doctors observe. Usually I say because, of course, not all genitals are entirely obvious, and we'll get onto that when we cover the I. But before that, we have the Q for queer or questioning. And here is the cue or questioning flag. Now, someone who is queer, they'll fall outside of the heterosexual, i.e. person who is attracted to the opposite gender, and cisgender category, and cisgender, i.e. person whose gender identity matches their gender assigned at birth, but for a variety of reasons they may not feel they have or don't wish to use a specific label within this space of LGBTQIA+, for a number of reasons. For example, they may be questioning their sexuality or gender. Now, this is a reclaimed word, queer. It has been a slur in the past, so not everyone likes the term, so it may be best to use it only to describe someone who self-identifies this way. Then we have the I for intersex. And an intersex person is someone who was born with and or developed sex characteristics which fall out of the binary notion of the male or female body. This could be based on their internal or external reproductive organs, hormones, chromosomes, and or secondary sex characteristics. And these are called variations. But still, and that's what we meant earlier by the idea that genitals may not be obvious at first glance. A. This one has three attached identities to it. Asexual, Aromantic, and Agender. With their flags here all in a row. Now, an asexual person is someone who doesn't experience sexual attraction, although some people who experience little sexual attraction are included as well. Well, through lacking the desire for sexual intercourse, bear in mind this, as I say, this lack of attraction is about lacking the desire for sexual intercourse, not from a choice or a medical condition. And an asexual person may feel attraction, may feel other forms of attraction like romantic, platonic or such, and have sex for, or maybe even have sex for other reasons such as, you know, relationships, arousal, that sort of thing. And arousal and attraction are different. Attraction comes from the mind, whereas arousal can just be a reflex. And speaking of other forms of attraction, an aromantic person is someone who doesn't feel romantic attraction. Although much like an asexual person, they may have attraction which is not romantic related and is not romantic related. Perhaps maybe platonic, or they may still feel sexual attraction, but still maybe aromantic. And they may engage in romance for other reasons. And yes, there isn't a single way to be aromantic either. Now, an agender person is someone who doesn't experience any connection to gender, be it male, female, or non-binary. This can vary perhaps. They feel no fixed connection to any one gender, or they feel gender neutral, or perhaps reject the concept of gender for themselves or universally. Plus, we see various parts of the plus here because, well, there are of course lots more genders and sexualities which don't really fall within the mono-attracted cisgender heterosexual norm, and this is where the plus of the acronym comes in. You know, since it allows someone who doesn't see themselves in any of the labels to find their own sense of community, find themselves and find others, even if they don't fall within one of the strict categories outlined above. So, for example, we have non-binary, demisexual, pansexual. Bear in mind, demi-attraction is usually where someone feels a form of attraction, romantic, sexual, or such, but they need something else to feel it. And of course, the pansexuals here, as we referred to earlier. Now, you might be wondering, why? Why Headspace? Do you, as a writer, include diverse characters on the LGBTQIA plus spectrum? Or at least you probably would if people bought my books more. But there are authors who get asked this question, so I'm going to give my answer. For you see, I want my work to be uplifting. Uplifting for anyone and everyone. To have a, little positive speck in the world, a little light shining in the darkness, so that people can feel they are not alone. This whole world might be a big, scary place with lots of strange things, but you know what? Ultimately, there is still good, there is still warmth, there is still love, there is still acceptance, there is still a place for you. Even if you don't fit anything quite rightly, you might be in that fuzzy middle place, you don't fit any of society, none of the society's values, but you might not fit, it doesn't matter. You're still with a heart of love and hope for acceptance of others and care. You can still be out there bring light to the world. Well, thank you very much for listening to my little presentation, and if you were wondering, I hope it helps you get started with understanding the LGBTQIA plus spectrum. And well, thank you again, and I'm just a humble writer trying to do what I can to help just be a little bit more uplifting in this sometimes quite bleak world. So, thank you again for listening to me, and hey, if you enjoyed it, I do have some books on sale, at www.edsmadlibs.co.uk. The link is in the description, and I hope you have a nice time, hope you enjoy it, and well, if you want to buy my books or not, it was not, and whether you're on the LGBTQIA plus spectrum or just a supportive ally, it was lovely, and it is lovely having you here.